This is going to be a very brief and only scratching the surface tutorial about the Ichimoku clouds. I'd encourage you to read the book by David Linton. Excellent. You can find other books on Amazon, but I think Linton's book is the best, and there are lots of other free stuff. There's lots of other free stuff on the internet you can get describing what the Ichimoku cloud system is. Ichimoku is a Japanese word that means at a glance, and it means that you can look at a chart and at a glance tell which way the stock is moving. And it's clear from this 5-minute SPX chart that the trend is upwards. The cloud is simply moving up. So what are the basic components? Here we have Bollinger Bands. This pink and green, these are Bollinger Bands, and this is the cloud. The Bollinger Bands have nothing to do with the Ichimoku system. I'm just showing you the relationship between Bollinger Bands and the cloud. There really isn't any, so I'm going to take them off. I'm going to show you the key components of the cloud. You have what is called the span A and the span B. Span A is a point that simply represents the moving average of the highest point and the lowest point of 9 periods on this chart. So in this case, 9 days. So we're going to take the high in the last 9 days, which is here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The high point is here. The low point is here. That midpoint is going to be plotted 26 periods into the future. So the midpoint of this 9-window candle, the midpoint is plotted 26 points in the future, meaning that the Ichimoku is meant to be a forward indicator, unlike anything else which is a lagging indicator. The bottom span is much more complicated in terms of how it's calculated, and I'll let you read about that. But again, it's taking a larger window, I believe it's 52 points, and it's plotting that midpoint 26 into the future. And you notice that now we have the 9 and the top and the bottom very close together. The thickness of the cloud indicates the degree of resistance or support when price starts to move through the cloud. From the top down, the cloud will provide more support if it's thick and virtually no support when it's thin. Similarly, when price is moving up, as we see here, it went through an area where there essentially was no cloud. One point was on top of the other, and price was able to break through the cloud very easily. Here we had a thick cloud, and it provided excellent support for price on 3 occasions before we were finally able to resume our upward move. So thickness is important. Here we've got a red cloud, and here we've got a yellow cloud. Does it matter? No. Color doesn't matter. Red simply indicates that the top span and the bottom span have reversed. The color doesn't mean anything. The second major component is what's called the Chiku span, this orange line here, and that is simply today's closing price, or today's median price, plotted 26 points back in time. Notice now we have forward projectors based on this point, plotting 26 periods ahead. This median point of that day only is plotted 26 points behind. The Chiku span is important. When it is above the cloud, the price is bullish. When it's below the cloud, the price movement is bearish. The Chiku span will get support from the cloud, and it'll get resistance from the cloud when it comes up from the bottom, as we saw here, where we saw the cloud being resistance, we saw the cloud being support, we saw support broken, we saw another break. When you see a break of the Chiku span from the top, that means bullish momentum, bullish signal. When we see a break of the Chiku span from the bottom of the cloud going down, that is a bullish signal. There are two other indicators in the Ichimoku system that you want to take a look at, and these are called the Tenkan, and the Kijun spans. So let's turn those on, because right now they're not showing. So we have the Kijun, and we're going to show it, and we have the Tenkan, and we're going to show it. The Tenkan is just like this point that was plotted out here, that 9 average of this window. Remember we said we were averaging these 9 here? Well, those 9, that point and this point, top span, are the same. The blue line is our 9 window movement. The pink line is a 26 window movement. So we would take 26 days back, and we would take the high and the low of 26, and that average would become the Kijun span. What you want to look at for those two lines is that, like moving averages, they provide support, and like moving averages, when they cross, they are a signal. When the 9 crosses over the 26, bearish signal. When the 9 crosses, here tried to attempt a crossover, that would have been a bullish signal. We never got the cross until here, but it was a false one, and it quickly got reversed, and we've got some down motion. So the key thing here is when they cross, they indicate bullish or bearish direction. If the cross happens above the cloud, when price is above the cloud, strong bullish signal. Similarly, price below the cloud, cross below the cloud, strong bearish signal. Price within the cloud is indeterminate. The system is not very good at predicting direction when price trends in the cloud a lot. So I encourage you to read about this system. I think it's fabulous. I think together with Fibonacci extensions, Fibonacci retracements, they combine to be a very powerful tool.